Yep.
It's on?
Yep.
Alright. Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites. We come week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked society and the upliftment of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the children of Israel according to scripture, prophecy, and according to the truth. We're going to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWAH. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim who are preaching this word and believing this word in truth and in sincerity. You got a question, Aki? You just listening? Come on.
This is 1 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 22. For the Lord will not forsake his people for his great name's sake. But it hath pleased the Lord to make you his people.
So it pleased YAHAWASHI to make Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and their descendants, West Indians, Haitians, his descendants, it pleased the Lord to make them his people, man. That means he's not gonna forsake us, man. We're put here for a correction, man, not for our destruction. And it's a reason that Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going through the worst hardships in this society. Because the Lord cursed our people, man. Our people can jump high. Our people can survive all kind of oppression and genocides. But the Lord has not allowed us to rise up in this society because this is our punishment, man. We were put here to be punished. But the Lord said he's not going to forsake us, man.
Yet the Bible says that most men will proclaim everyone their own goodness. What a painful man. Fine. But God's not.
This is Ezekiel chapter 39, starting at verse 8. Behold, it is come, and it is done, saith the Lord Yahawah. This is the day whereof I have spoken. Verse 9. And they that dwell in the cities of Yashar'Allah shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and arrows, and the handstands and the spears, and they shall burn with them with fire 7 years.
Because when we get in the land of Israel, the world is not going to learn war anymore. That links up with Israel, with Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, when it says that they shall beat their swords into plowshares, man. That's him, the Lord telling us that in Ezekiel, man. If you want to jump down to 21.
Ezekiel 39, verse 21. And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them.
Yeah, because the Lord gonna lay his hands on heathens, man. The heathens talking about they waiting on the day of the Lord, but when the Lord come back, man, he putting his hands on heathens, man. He said he gonna take, the saints shall take the kingdom, man. That mean they not gonna hand it over. The Lord said that we're gonna be established, and he's gonna judge heathens, man. And they're gonna recognize his glory when he putting his foot in their ass spiritually, man. That's how they gonna recognize the glory of the Heavenly Father. The Lord put us through curses, man. And we're the chosen people of YAHAWAH.
It says to them that are under the law, that every mouth stop, and that all the world may become before God.
Because we went through the judgments that we went through, and we're the Lord's chosen people. It said he was pleased to make us his people. So for the Lord to be pleased to make us his people, for him to put us through this, how much more is he going to punish the heathens, man? What did he do to Egypt, man? The Lord didn't have no coalition with everybody. He did what you would call heinous acts of crimes against humanity, against a nation of people, man. That's the Lord of the Bible, man.
These are not good people.
You gonna continue on that one now? Oh, come on. Unless you got.
Well, I've never stolen anything, friend. It's not what you've done.
Because it's gonna be known in judgment, man. We comfortable knowing YAHAWASHI's prophecies. We have faith on what the Lord said in the Bible, not according to doctrines of men, not according to the traditions of men. We believe that YAHAWAH put us in this predicament. You know why? Because you've had a Malcolm X, you've had a Martin Luther King, you've had a Marcus Garvey, but you couldn't get out. None of these men as much as integrity as they had in the mind that they had to save our people out of this predicament, they could not do it. And it's not because our people are weak. It's not because our people aren't strong. It's because the one who gave us the power to be the salt of the earth, we forsook him. So he forsook us, and he gave us into the hand of our enemies. And this precept is going to break that down, man.
If I can say this, if you read the book of Judges, Israel turned away from YAHAWASHI over and over and over and over and over again, man. You know? But that goes to show that the Most High is merciful, man.
And it showed that the Lord is a man of his word, man, because at the end of the day, we got the blessing because the Lord gave an oath to Abraham, man. He swore to Abraham as he lived. YAHAWASHI can't die, man. So if he swore on his own life and he can't die, that means it's going to happen, man. He said, and that's the oath that he gave to Abraham, and that was passed down as an inheritance. If I had a son and I passed down my Jordans to my son, everybody don't partake in my son's Jordans, man. That's for my son. If somebody says that, well, anybody, your dad said, whosoever, and I'm in a house, it's not pertaining to the whole world. It's pertaining to who's in my house. The Bible was originally scrolls from the Israelites, writing amongst Israelites, the Israelite perspective of the world. It was not originally authored to the whole entire world.
I can say this too. Like, you have people that's in the military today, right? Now, before they actually join the military, they go in and they swear in, they make an oath, right? Now, after they swear in, and they make that oath to so-called defend the country, both foreign and domestic, what happens after that? They go to boot camp. Now, when they get to boot camp, what do? They learn the laws that's required of them in the military under something called the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Now, the Uniform Code of Military Justice doesn't apply to everybody. So if I go on base to go visit one of my friends and he gets in trouble for having his band, I'm not. Why? Because the laws of the military don't apply to me. You get what I'm saying? He could get in trouble for that, but not me. Why? Because he swore an oath to uphold those laws, to follow those laws, the same way we did as a nation of Israel at Mount Sinai. You know what I'm saying? We made an oath to keep those. Those laws don't apply to everybody. Why? Because only we made that oath. Well, YAHAWASHI, you know?
But that's why this new doctrine of you don't have to keep the laws is in practice. Because these laws are under a contract. A part of that contract are blessings and curses. If the curses don't apply to you, what makes you think that the blessings would apply to you? Now, if the Lord said that we would go into slavery on slave ships, that we would be sold as bondmen and bondwomen, that the woman would have enmity with her husband, and her husband would have enmity with her and his child, which he would leave, and you see that predominantly in our community. It matches up with the curses, and it says in Deuteronomy 28 and 46, these are a sign. So when you want to know where's the chosen people at, you go to Deuteronomy 28 and you look at them curses and see what people fits that bill, man. Because if they're gonna partake in the curses, then that means that they were a part of that contract, man. That means that the blessings apply to them as well, man. Otherwise, you're calling the Lord a lie. You're saying that what he told Abraham was bullshit. You saying that the Lord finessed Abraham. He made him do all of that just to tell him that he was going to give him something, that he was going to get a whole world.
And when you really look at that doctrine is a form of reverse psychology. Because you got a bunch of people who were never under the law telling you don't have to follow the law no more. Now that was a trap, that was a snare from these Edomites to you Israelites out there. Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't follow these laws, you die, man. And you become weak, you become nothing. Like the brother said in Deuteronomy chapter 20 from 15 on down to 68. You know? How you going to have a bunch of people who are not under the laws tell you that you don't have to keep the law? Because they were never under it in the first place. It's a reverse psychology. Then they got these old nigga women in the church doing what? After they did all that twerking, all that hoeing around, now they in the church at 60 speaking in tongues, stealing pork at the end of the day with the pastor. Because they don't got to keep the laws. And then you wonder why we ain't going nowhere. You know? Khan, this is Ezekiel?
Yeah, Ezekiel 39, around 21. Because at the end of the day, the Lord said that he was going to put his glory amongst the heathen. His glory is the nation of Yasharallah. He said, I will not give my glory to another.
Right. This is Ezekiel chapter 39. Verse 22.
The hour is coming.
So the house of Yashar'Allah shall know that I am the Lord their God. From that day,
One more time, because that's possessive, man.
verse 40, verse 22. So that the house of Yashar'Allah shall know that I am the Lord their power from that day forward. Verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me.
So we didn't go into iniquity because we didn't go into captivity, Salakia, because the white man, the so-called white man, was so much better than us, or the other nations were so much better than us. And it's going to be known in that day that the Negro, Latino, and Native American men aren't inherent criminals. That Negro, Latino, and Native American men are actually intellectuals as well. But because Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans grow up in this wicked-ass society where the so-called white man done beat you down so bad, niggas don't think that they could do anything other than rap and play basketball, man. That's why the remnant of our people that stayed in West Africa, that's why they flourish in business and knowledge and education, because they don't have to grow up in this society. They grow up amongst their own, and they're allowed to blossom. Because Jake is told he's stupid here, man. From Jake going into primary school up, Jake is told that he's an idiot. So Jake automatically thinks that the only way he can succeed is to do something physical or rap.
It's so bad that Jake really believes he's stupid, like the Ak is saying. To the point where you might have a class of 35 people, which is crazy anyway in these schools. But then you might have that one Jake who's doing good in that class, man. And then what happens to that Jake? He's gonna have to hide that he's doing good and he's smart, because all the rest of the students around him is gonna pick on him for that, because it's not cool to be smart in this fucked up society in our neighborhoods, man.
Well, if I can say this, but that's because we've grown up in so-called black culture, man. So-called black culture, man, which is literally black. We're not black. The culture that they've given us is black. And when you accept that culture, that's why you get offended when they say something about black people, man. Because you... Go ahead.
Nah, I wanted to say something. Like, I know I made a rap with all the verses of black people.
Why not hearken to the words of God? My understanding that the word of the Lord is right. And all his works
not on camera right now, because we're trying to edify right now. We'll definitely hear you out, you know what I'm saying?
The Bible if we neglect this, so bright.
I had a question.
Yeah, you had a question.
Whenever you escape the damnation of God,
Interpret which one is
In Genesis, the 49th chapter, Israel, the man that you get children of Israel, man, he told his 12 sons.
And 3 days and 3 nights later, and all that God requires of man is that they humble themselves and call upon him for the salvation of their souls.
Genesis, the 49th chapter. So he said, he gathered all his 12 sons and he said, this is what happened to them.
Alright, back in Ezekiel 39 and verse 22. So that the house of Yashar'Allah shall know that I am the Lord their God from that day forward. Verse 23. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore, I hid my face from them and gave them into the hand of their enemies.
So the Lord is showing you right there that not only did Israel go into captivity for their iniquities, not because the heathen were stronger, but it also shows you that the heathen are our enemies, man. The Lord said, I will give you into the hand of your enemies. The Lord took the hedge of protection away from us, man. And this is what happens when the Lord turns his back on his chosen people. They get destroyed, man. You have a world star hip-hop where niggas just act a fucking fool, man. Our whole culture is a shame unto us when you understand the knowledge and wisdom of YAHAWASHI. Everything about our culture that we've learned here is shame and reproach, man. And when you come into this understanding, this knowledge and wisdom, you understand that your people are being shamed before the whole world, man. That's why a lot of the scriptures talk about take away. I shall take away their reproach. That's because we've been shamed here, man. And 2/3 of our people don't know that, man. They have no clue. They're caught up in this so-called black culture, man. Well, being dumb is glorified, man. And envying your own brother and doing harm to your own brother is glorified. But the so-called white man can walk around free, and he done destroyed your people generation after generation, man. Now if Tyrone, let's put this in perspective. If a Negro grew up at one block and somebody else grew up in another block, and they got into a situation where somebody got killed, now what happens? They hold that grudge forever. But these so-called white people done destroyed our nation on generation on generation on generation. And you let them walk around with their head held high and you hold your head low, man. That's shame and reproach, even if you don't know that. So the Lord said that it's going to be known in that day, man, that the heathens are going to know that they didn't do shit special. That the Lord took his face away from us because of our iniquities. That these heathens ain't nothing, man. The Lord has constantly said that, and that's a bold statement. They won't tell you that in the church, that the Lord said that the heathens are nothing. That all of the heathens put together are vanity. They don't tell you that in the church, but it's the truth. That's why you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are hated, man. Even though you are destroyed, you are hated here, man. But at the same time, they all want to be you. Because you are the chosen. Whether they choose to acknowledge it or not.
2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing.
Yeah, these are heathens, man. These are nothing in the eyes of YAHAWASHI, man. We wearing our shame right now because of what we've done to YAHAWASHI. Not because of these heathens, man. These heathens are nobody. And the reason Jake is tricked out of his spot is because he grew up here with all of these heathens telling him he wasn't shit, man. So he grew up in this dumbed down, low self-esteem state of mental illness because he's grown up here where they tell you got ADHD. They put you in a slow classes even though you ain't slow.
Which is just to set you up for the prison system anyway. You know, the scriptures say the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, man. He didn't take it. He was given into it was given into his hands, man. If it wasn't for YAHAWASHI, trust me, the white man wouldn't even exist to this point, man. They're the basis of men. They're the basis of men, man.
And that brings balance, man. The Lord is going to show forth his mercy through Jacob. And he's going to show forth his judgment, pure, unmerciful judgment through what he's going to do to Esau. And that's balance.
Back in 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 57. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Verse 58. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, the only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands.
And that's what Jake be saying, man. That's what Jake be saying. Like, all right, you love us, but why you keep doing this to us? But it's because it's discipline, man. It's because we have a contract and an obligation to conduct ourselves on the planet Earth a certain way. And when you don't abide by those rules, your father got to jack you up, man. That's why we're going to attain the blessings, because we're obtaining the curses right now. And nobody want no parts of it. Nobody want no parts of the curses that we got to take. We taking all these losses and everybody laughing. But then they want to come in and join the winning team when we get the W. It don't work like that, man. YAHAWASHI is not mocked, man.
Verse 59. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Yeah, because that's agonizing to know that the Lord put you or set you up to be on top, to conduct this world in righteousness, and you're under the very basis of men, man. And he's the basis of men because of his actions, man, not because of how he looked. Because of what he's done, man. A vagabond, a fugitive and a vagabond, man. And that's what Esau is, man. That's why Esau walk around here looking all proud, man, because he done got away with murder, literally.
Come.
But
This is the song of the three holy children. Verse 9. It says, "And thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies."
And they lawless to this day. That's what Christianity is. That's lawlessness. They're a lawless nation to this day. Even if they pick up the Bible, they still lawless, because that's what they tell you. You ain't got to keep no laws. You ain't got to have no standards. Come on, man.
Good. And thou, verse 9, "And thou hast delivered us into the hands of lawless enemies, most hateful forsakers of the Most High, and to an unjust king, and the most wicked in all the world."
Because that's unjust to not even acknowledge what you've done to this nation of people, but to constantly complain about what they do in these so-called hoods and ghettos, man. But not acknowledge the effort or the things that you've done to put them in that position. That's unjust. That's why the Lord, that's our punishment, to be under an unjust king, a lawless nation, man.
And now, verse 10, "And now we cannot open our mouths. We are become a shame and reproach to thy servants and to them that worship thee. Yet deliver us not up wholly for thy name's sake, neither disannul thy covenant."
And then it say you can't open your mouth, because 50 years ago, if we was out here telling the white man he's a fucking devil, we would be hanging on trees, man. 50 years ago, if we came out here and said that the so-called white man got to pay for slavery, we wouldn't be out here no more. We'd be dead. We'd be dead, period. But the so-called white man can look at you and smile in your face like he ain't did shit to you or your nation, and walk around here proudly, because he don't believe that there's a judgment for that, man. You know why? Because he's gotten away with it for so long. From the Greek to the Roman to this empire here, he's got away with pure genocide, man. Crimes against humanity.
We'll jump down to verse 14. The song of the three holy children, verse 14. And it says, "For we, O Lord, are become less than any nation, and be kept under this day in all the world because of our sins."
And that's everywhere you go, Jake. You ain't escaping these curses, Jake, unless you bend over for the so-called white man. You ain't escaping nothing, bro. Nothing. And that's why Jake be messed up, man. Because Jake could get influence in this nation, in this world, but he gotta suck up to the so-called white man. He can't tell the white man he the devil for what he did to his people.
Zechariah chapter 11 verse 5. "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they sell them. They that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not."
Yeah, because they did this to our people, and they don't pity us for what they did to us, man. They don't pity us for all of the rape, robbery, and murder. They tell you to get over it. Straight like that. They tell you to get over it and pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. Looking ass, man. Y'all gonna pay, bro. Y'all gonna pay, man. And any so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American who ain't even got the balls to stand up for his nation, you don't even deserve to be a part of Yahawah, man.
And that's why these Edomites can walk around so proudly like they do.
Cause you will bang on your own brother, man, but you won't bang on these so-called white people, man, that did this to you, man. This happened, man. This happened. This ain't out of no film, excuse my French. This ain't out of no movie, man. This is real life, man. These are real people, man. Real people went through that, man. Now, if somebody shot your brother, you'll be mad at that dude and his whole family until you dead. But they did all of this to your whole nation, man. And you don't care?
A lot of you, Jake, belong in the KKK, man. A lot of you will fit right in with the KKK with a amount of the niggas, so-called niggas y'all done killed, man. You know, y'all doing the work for them. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it plenty of times. These so-called crackers will walk in our neighborhood, right? And then Jake will just, let him go. Oh, he's a white boy, just let him go. He's not about that life. But then one of your own brothers will come and step on your nice, fresh pair of crisp Nike Uptowns and blow his fucking head off, man. Where they do that at?
And if I can
All
add,
in the ghettos, man.
If I can add, so like, I watched the video with this KKK guy, and he was like,
oh, to the dude in the prison?
No. He did a sit-down video. He had his mask on and everything. He say they used to kill maybe 5 Jakes a week, but he said they can take the mask off and sit down because Jake killing 400-500 a week. Right. So that just basically ran them out of business. They ain't had to do no more hangings. He said they were killing 1 to 5 a week. Jake killing 300-400 a week, so they don't got to do nothing else no more, man. They just sit back, man.
But that's the accuser of our brethren, man, because he put Jake in a position to do that, man, and he created a culture where Jake glorifies that, man. He invested money in the Jake to talk like he talked about his own people, man, to get money and show it off to your own people, man. And you look up to these guys, man. These guys get all this money and don't say nothing about all the dirt that's been done to their people, man. They sit there and hold their tongue. Meanwhile, they just act like this never happened, man. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps, looking ass, man. Right. Agreeing with Esau, the so-called white man. Yeah, you guys, just get over it. It happened a long time ago. Then they'll hop on Fox News and tell you was better off as a slave, man. Hey, you don't care? Come on, bro.
But to show the hypocrisy of these fucking devils, man. When Pearl Harbor got bombed, right, that faggot ass president said this is a day that will live in infamy, man. That means that they were gonna remember December 7th forever, as long as America exists, in their hearts forever. The second time that word was used was by George Bush when 9/11 happened. You know, they said that when they got touched, that they will remember that shit forever. But they tell our brothers and sisters to forget slavery. Then you got our brothers walking around with dogs. You know what I'm saying?
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother.
And that's what you got, man. And that's what you got, man. And that's why you can point out who the children of Israel are, man. You can point them out, and it's obvious when you look at Deuteronomy 28, the 15th chapter on down, man. When you look at all of those curses, man, it's obvious who the children of Israel are, man. It's obvious what nation of people needs a savior, man. That's obvious, man. That's obvious. It says that his eye shall be evil towards his brother, man. And chose the wife of his bosom. Continue that one.
It says, let's start from the top again. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Which is why you have Jake getting ridiculed for having baby mamas, for having baby mama drama, because Jake fit the curses, man. The Lord did this to us. That's why in Ezekiel, if you can get back in Ezekiel 39, the Lord, it's going to be known that you heathens weren't special, man. That we went into captivity because we did wrong to YAHAWASHI. It wasn't because you were special, man. And it's going to be well known in that day, man. And the heathens gonna see it when the Lord put his hands on them for our sake, man. The Lord said that we're the apple of his eye, man. And then he said, if the ones who were not meant to drink the cup have drunken it, you shall surely drink. So they gonna taste this slavery, man. Right. Every little peon out here, man. They gonna take every little peon heathen out here gonna taste slavery, man.
Right. Ezekiel 39 and 23 again. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquities, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them.
And the Lord hiding his face from us is synonymous with our protection, man, and our understanding. Because it tell you in Psalms, to let his face shine upon me, man. That means receiving that understanding, man. The Lord took his light from us, and he took his hedge from us, man. And now we're destroyed and unprotected out here, man. And the brother had brought out beautifully that precept where it said we can't even open our mouth, man. Because 50 years ago, you couldn't even say nothing about your own oppression, man. It's like telling a bully he can't be, like, you can't tell a bully that he bullying you, man.
Step on you. Step on you.
I'm good, brother.
Don't be afraid to step on the devil. Right. After when you stepped on the picture, a footprint was on his face.
Ezekiel 3:9. I was going to get numbers out of 15.
You can step on it. You can step on that, man. That's a false image. That's the rapper's Christos.
But God, the Bible says, but God.
Yeah, because it's going to be well known in that day, man, that the Lord did a magnificent work, man. That the people who were meant to be on top got put on bottom because they were disobedient, man.
Right, I got you.
This is Obadiah, verse 15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
And that hasn't changed, man. Yahawashi didn't come down here and change the Lord's mind. Yahawashi didn't come down here and say, look, bro, he was going to do that, bro, but he changed his mind, bro. It don't work like that, man. He said, I and my Father are one, man. So the Lord is going to touch these heathens, man.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall be returned on thine own head. For as he drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually.
And you know what that is? That's slavery, boy. That's slavery. That's oppression, boy. You sold that, boy, so you gonna catch that. You threw that L out there, and that shit like a boomerang. It's coming back.
Man, Yahawashi has a foot.
Yeah.
Man, the scripture says that the earth is his footstool, man. So can you imagine how big his foot is? He gonna stick that shit right up y'all ass, man. You know what I'm saying?
And they gonna see the nations, the world didn't know about Yahawashi until judgment came down, man. That's how the heathens found out about Yahawashi. When Egypt fell, all the nations knew and trembled, man. They already knew what time it was back then. They're gonna know that again through this second Exodus. You got a brief?
This is Joel, chapter 3, verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Lord dwelleth in Zion.
So the Lord gonna clean us up, man. And he gonna do it for his name's sake, because he put his name on the nation of Israel, man. According to his covenant, according to the oath that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. That he put his name on us. So for his name's sake, he's gonna clean up our iniquities and give us mercy. None of these other nations were promised that, bro. None of these other nations have been given a promise of being cleansed like that, man. So you are being saved. You're being saved for employment, man. That's what you're being saved for. You're being preserved for employment. Because as you did to this nation, so shall it be done to you, man. And all you accessories to murder, man. Because all these other nations, they might not have had the same effect that the so-called white man did, but they're not saying nothing. Ain't none of them jumping up saying, man, that's wrong. So that makes you an accessory.
It's Ezekiel chapter 36, starting at verse 19. And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries.
Yeah, so we got scattered amongst these heathens, man. We got scattered amongst the nobodies, and the nobodies became somebodies.
Right. According to their way and according to their doings, I judged them. Verse 20. And when they entered onto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name.
Which is why the Lord hid his face from us, man. Because we couldn't call ourselves Yasha'Allah with all of the wickedness that was going on in the land of Yasha'Allah, man. So the Lord had to take his our whole heritage from us, man. Because we were profaning his name amongst these heathens, man. Which is why we're here, and 2/3 of our people don't know who they are, man. They subscribe to being a crayon color, man.
And so I'm gonna start verse 20 again. And when they entered onto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name. When they said to them, these are the people of the Lord, and are gone forth out of his land. Verse 21. But I had pity. Start again. But I had pity.
Come on, man.
Mine holy name.
the Lord is merciful to the nation of Yasharallah, man, because really, realistically, we don't even deserve to be out here laboring for Yahawashi for all of the dirt that's been committed as a nation of people, man. You had Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and fringes in the land of Israel eating swine behind trees, bro. Man,
Ezekiel 30.
the Lord is merciful, man. Like in Luke, in the 16th chapter, I believe, where it talks about the parable of the prodigal son, where he had 2 sons, and one of the sons wanted his inheritance. We'll get that later, but the Lord had mercy on us, man, and He's still having mercy on us, man, because a remnant is coming back to their understanding, man. A remnant is coming back to their heritage, man.
Right. Ezekiel 36 and 21. But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen whither they went. Therefore, say unto the house of Yasharallah, thus saith the Lord power, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Yasharallah, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen whither ye went. Verse 23, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye went, which you have profaned in the midst of them. And the heathen shall know that I am the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, YAHAWASHI, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes.
So He didn't say He was going to be sanctified in the whole world. He said before Yasharallah, man. He's going to be sanctified in Yasharallah before all of the other nations, man. That's why the doctrine of Christianity is a stumbling block that Yahawashi purposely put out here, man. Because He got rid of the desirables with that, man. You don't want to keep laws? All right, do this. Go to church on Sunday.
Whoa.
Throw some change in the pot. Let you think that that spirituality is like McDonald's. You just pull up on Sunday, go through the drive-thru, throw $20 in there, you good. They're gonna let you in the front door of heaven when it's time. Let you think that. The Lord did that, man. The Lord put the stumbling blocks out here, man.
I got you right here. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 16. As also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, meaning wrestle, as they do also other scriptures unto their own destruction.
And you think that's an accident? You think the Most High just happened to make Paul write them? You think he didn't know that was gonna happen? The Lord put that stumbling block out here on purpose, man. That's why I said that the wide and broad is the gate that leads to destruction, man. And that's why it's a broad amount of people in that doctrine, man. Because that's not the doctrine of Yahawashi. Here it is, the Lord made everything in all particular fashion, very strict. But then He could just let you do what the hell you want to do after He told you that He wanted you to do it a certain way.
I got one for y'all.
This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 9. Whom shall He teach knowledge? And whom shall He make understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Which is why Yahawashi said that you got to come back as babes, man. Which is why Yahawashi said spiritually you got to hit the restart button. Because everything we've learned here is opposite of Yahawashi. Even the doctrine of Christianity, man. All of this stuff out here is opposite of Yahawashi, which is why Yahawashi said you got to come back as a babe and desire the sincere milk, man. That you may be able to grow. You can't go, a baby don't eat meat, man. You got to hit the restart button, man. Otherwise, you're going to destroy yourself, man, trying to mix that meat and that milk.
Verse 10, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will He speak to His people.
And that's ill. That's ill because the Lord put this like a puzzle. So that means if the Lord wanted the whole world to be saved, it should be very, very apparent in the Old and New Testament. You shouldn't be able to hold on to one scripture for your dear life and ignore everything else. It should be able to line up precept upon precept, here a little and there a little, man. And if it don't, that's not the doctrine of YAHAWASHI, man. And you'll know that, man. The ones who are given it to know, who are given ears to understand that, man. Because at the end of the day, the kingdom of heaven is not for everybody to understand. Snapchat threw them off, man. Vine threw them off. YAHAWASHI is not dealing with them, man. They thrown off by the simplicity of this world, man. They've accepted wickedness, man. They've made wickedness normal. And anything outside of wickedness, they look at you crazy, man. That's why we can stand boldly out here and say what we say, because we don't give a heck. We don't care what you people think. You people don't know anything, man. They really don't know anything. Just walking reality TV show fans, man. That's it, man. Walking sports fans and reality TV show fans. That's all they know, man. That's all they desire to know. And they prideful with that, man. When you bring up history, it's, I don't want to hear about that. When you bring up herbal remedies, I don't want to hear about pseudoscience.
Right, but if you talk about Stevie J and his new baby mother,
they know about that,
everybody and their mother knows what's going on.
That's a 30-minute conversation. That'll make their eyes light up. I just feel like bro was doing his thing. He could have been like, come on, bro. That's why the Lord said, how long will you simple ones love simplicity, man? Because the Lord made us, He made us to judge this whole world, man. All these heathens are itching to be #1, and the one who's supposed to be #1 don't want it.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? Verse 11. He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but unto them it is not given.
So the Lord, in the first Exodus, the Lord took the whole nation out. And through him taking the whole nation out, he had to get rid of that generation because they didn't have faith. This time around, the Lord is going to keep a remnant and get rid of the rest so that he can establish us in righteousness with the remnant, man. That's why it's not given to everybody to know the kingdom of heaven, because it's only given to the elite of the nation of Israel. The aristocracy of Israel, because any Israelite that make it out on this side is going to be known in the kingdom, man. Like, you know Jay-Z name, you know Lil Boosie name, you going to know the elect name. In that day when righteousness is what's popping, you going to know the elect name. You going to know the ones who stood before it was a trend. It's going to be respected, man. Because out here in this world, everything is for acceptance. Everybody do everything for acceptance and not respect, man. They don't stand for anything, man. Everything is a gray area. Well, it's not me. It don't matter. I don't have an opinion on that. That's why wickedness is so exceeding, because people don't stand up for anything, man.
Got a quick one. This is going into when you were saying you gotta be like a babe again, right? This is Hebrews chapter 5, verse 11. Of whom we have many things to say and heard to be uttered, seeing ye are dull of hearing. For the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. For everyone that useth milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe.
And that's why the words of Paul were going over people's heads, man. Because Paul was given meat. Paul had already understood the foundation of the scriptures. The YAHAWASHI sat there and taught Paul and understanding and expanded his understanding, so he was able to give meat. That's why people don't understand Paul's epistles, because you have to have a meat type of understanding to get that, man. That's why people say anything is clean. Oh, we can close the book. Shrimp, where the shrimp at?
Right, or the other nations can be saved. The Gentiles of the other nations.
Yeah. That's a stumbling, and it's not by accident, man. It's by design. YAHAWASHI put Christianity out here in the world to get rid of the desirables, man. See, Esau fighting with Esau about the scriptures. Oh, here we go.
Babe, can we go?
It's gonna be known in that day, man. It's not gonna be something we gotta break down to people. Yahshua gonna walk, the common Israelite gonna walk in the room and people gonna know what time it is, man.
Psalm 64 and 8.
Come on. Psalm 64 and 8. No, you good, go ahead.
It's Ephesians chapter 5, verse 32. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Hamashiach and the church.
And it's a mystery, man. That's why Paul's epistles are hard to be understood, because if you're not dealing with, if you haven't even gathered the milk, Paul's epistles is going to bug you out, man. It's going to be a wrap for you, because you have to be able to understand the Old Testament before you can grasp what Paul was telling his people, man. Because those epistles were written to Israelites in these nations, and he was teaching them skillfully how to deal in the societies that they were in, man. Because they were feeling they were getting over righteous, man. Oh, I don't want to eat this food. It got sacrificed to such and such. And Paul was telling them, look, man, it's food. Eat it. Eat the food that has been sanctified, man. But the Lord blessed you with this understanding. And the food that you're eating, even though they may have sacrificed it to idols, you know you praise the true God. But these are things that went over people's head because Paul was dealing with the meat, man. And that's why he said the ones who have milk, the ones who think they know something, need to desire the sincere milk, man. Because you'll get puffed up in pride, man. Thinking that you know something and really you don't know what's going on. That's why Christians are full of pride, man. Because they read Paul's epistles and they think because they have this limited understanding that they know something, man. And it said that you have need that you need to be taught again. But they won't be taught again because pride has already crept in and seared their mind like a hot iron.
Things are old and new.
Come.
Right. Matter of fact, I got that right here. Woo. This is Spirit. This is Matthew chapter 13, verse 52. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things new and old.
And that's what we've been blessed to come back into. We've been blessed to come back into the labor where we're watching and checking off prophecies. We're constantly on the news scanning because we're waiting for the kingdom, man. These people are caught up in vanity, man. And 2/3 of our nation they really have no business even being caught up in this system. It was built on your back, and now you're running a rat race where they still look at you like you're on the bottom. You would think that Jake would hear that he's the greatest people on the face of the earth and will flock to it, man. But YAHAWASHI didn't establish it like that. Not on this side, because when he took us all out of Egypt, he had to destroy that generation because they had no faith, man. This thing right here on this side is about faith, man. That's why Paul broke stuff down like he did, man. Because on this side, it's about faith, man. Do you believe it or not, man? Do you believe YAHAWASHI is dealing with you or not, man? And that's what it all boils down to. We keep the laws because we have faith in YAHAWASHI. We shouldn't have a spirit of fear because we have faith on YAHAWASHI, man. If you laboring, if you believe this truth, if you're rehearsing the righteous acts, then you should have full faith that he'll deliver you from anything that he put you through. And if he put you through something, it's for your good, it's for your profit. This side is about faith, man. On this side, for you to get out of here, it's really about that faith, man. Your works are going to be shown through your faith. You either believe it or you don't, man. And there's no book out here we can pull out that's going to make the Lord give you faith. That's got to be a gift that he just gave you, man. And all we doing is stirring up your pure mind, man.
I got to appreciate, Bob.
Go ahead,
It's 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14. But their minds were blinded. For until this day remaineth the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in Hamashiach. But even unto this day, when Moses is read, the veil is upon their heart.
Yeah, and that's twofold, man. Because the Lord, he shut the eyes of our people so they couldn't receive understanding. But on the second fold, it's because there's no there's no veil with the high priest situation now, because Yahawashi has become that high priest, man. The old order, the priesthood of the Levitical priesthood is done away with through Yahawashi, man. So that veil is done away with. But Paul had to deal with Israelites who knew the law, who knew that they were the children of Israel. And they weren't prepared to change things into a spiritual aspect. They weren't prepared to have faith, just like they weren't prepared to have faith in the wilderness, man. Come. Well, when they die, let me know. You got a pre?
Psalm 68.
64. It says 64 and 8. Psalms?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's about the tongue falling upon themselves. Yeah.
Bring out, you got one out?
I got one. I see Psalm 64.
Come.
This is Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of thy power, for they shall wisely consider of his doings.
Yeah, because when the so-called white man go down, they're gonna consider his actions and his judgment. Just like the world, that's what the world do today. When they see Jake get a harsh judgment, they gonna tell the next Jake, oh, don't do that, bro. That's 39 to 45, man. They give you football numbers for that, bro. I wouldn't do that if I was you. Now the nations, when the nations see Esau be completely obliterated, oh, they're gonna be down with the program. You see a whole nation fall off the map, oh yeah, they're gonna be down with the program. That's why I say they're gonna consider that, man. That's why Yahawashi is gonna do that, man. The perfect balance, man, of mercy and judgment, man. The perfect balance. I'm gonna establish my people forever, and I'm gonna destroy a nation forever. Scales is balanced now, because the Lord is balancing this out, man. They like to say God is balanced, man. He's a judge. A judge shows mercy, and then the judge gives judgments. The world is gonna understand Yahawashi for who he truly is, man. Because on this side, it's all about faith. The Lord has blessed the remnant, the hopeful elect, to already have faith in this, man. The nations are gonna have to learn through the judgments that the Lord has committed. We're just out here to tell them the judgments before they happen, man. We are the ambassadors or the servants of Hamashiach, man. We come out here to say, look, he coming back. And bodies gonna drop. That's our job. The Lord's coming back, and this time he's not healing the lame and making the blind see. He's taking heads off necks.
This is Psalms chapter 110. I'm gonna start at 2. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness. From the womb of the morning thou hast the dew of thy youth.
Because when Yahawashi was here, man, and he didn't come in power, niggas was very disrespectful, man. Niggas were very disrespectful, and that's why they can't get it unto this day, man. That's why it was given. That's why they can't get it even unto this day, because they're preserved for the other side of mercy. He got the lambs, the sheep, that's reserved for the grace, the mercy. Come, receive the inheritance given to you, that's promised to your fathers. But 2/3, oh, you niggas gotta get it. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen, because you gotta think in the spirit of reincarnation. You gotta understand that these same jakes that's rebelling now were rebelling ever since. They've been rebelling since the wilderness, the garden, the book of Judges, Samuel. They've been rebelling since been rebelling, man. And that's why the Lord is gonna have a final judgment where he gonna lay bodies down. Jake get respect for dropping bodies. Yahawashai's gonna get respect for dropping bodies, man. That's gonna happen, man. You ain't seen nothing like this. Like, we talking about it, but you gonna see bodies, man. You gonna see some dark shit that you ain't never seen in your life, man.
It's Isaiah chapter 60, verse 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come, bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the sole of thy feet.
Yeah.
And they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Yasher Allah.
Because when Yahawashah come back through the spirit of Yahweh and spaz out, people gonna bend down. They gonna bend the knee, man. They gonna bend the knee. The children of them that afflicted us, they gonna come bend their knee, man. They gonna give reverence, man. Because Yahawashah is coming back as an angry man. He not coming back. He not coming back in the spirit of peace, man. He not coming back as a lamb. He did that already. Been there, done that, man. He did the lamb. Now he coming back as a lion, man. And bodies gonna drop. Bodies are gonna drop, man. Like we talk about it, but you really gotta understand. Go to Live Leak one time and just see what bullets do to people. Imagine what Yahawashah is gonna do, man. Bodies are gonna drop. Jake respect power, man. That's why when Jake in the hood drop bodies, people respect him. You're gonna respect Yahawashah in that day, man. Right. Bodies are gonna drop, man.
I got a pre-op.
Bring it up.
This Romans chapter 16, verse 20. And the power of peace shall bruise Satan under your feet shortly. The grace of our Lord Yahawashah HaMashiach be with you. Amen.
Because Yahawashah says it says in Revelations he goes in righteousness he doth judge and make war.
That's ironic that you said that, because when you look at this Christian doctrine, man, and the amount of our people that's in that folly, and these people out here, like you said, Yahawashah gonna kill even 2/3 of our people, man. Now, going back into that Christian doctrine, man, these people desire the day of the Lord because they're waiting for sweet Jesus to come down to hand out roses. That's for all these nations and 2/3 of our people. So check this.
Amos 5 and 18.
God, I'm right here.
This is Amos chapter 5, verse 18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
Yeah, so they see the New Testament and they see the works of Yahawashah and they're like, oh man, I can't wait till this guy gets back. Well, for what's gonna happen to you, I wouldn't desire the day of the Lord if I was you, man. Especially if you're not doing what he told you to do, man. Here it is, they won't watch they won't watch a horror film. But they hear the judgments and just skip right over it. Like the Lord is gonna drop bodies, man. We talking about the same power that destroyed the earth and kept 8 souls, man. 8. You can count that on 2 hands, man. Destroyed the whole world and kept 8 people, man. Believe it or not. It don't matter if you believe it or not, because the Lord's gonna make it manifest in that day when you see bodies drop. Because that's what's happening, man. That's what's on the way, man. Here it is, these nations, so-called white men in these nations, they don't win all around the world committing genocide, oppression, rape, robbery, murder, count it up. And they have not answered for those charges. Well, the Lord coming back like Sally Mae, he need that, man. He need that, man. He need that with interest, man.
I got one.
This is Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
With dyed garments from Basra. This is... Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, that I speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the winefat?
Let's get it.
Verse 3. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my year of my redeemed is come.
So when they put Yahawashah on Netflix and shit, they have him with that long hair, that effeminate spirit. Yeah, come my child, all effeminate and fagged out. Well, you know what? He's not coming back like that, B.
Be my rock, Peter.
Yeah, be my rock, Peter. You shall be my rock. Looking ass. The Lord ain't coming back like that, man. The Lord gonna come back and drop bodies, man.
Isaiah
He said the
34.
day of vengeance burneth in his heart forever.
Done.
Now you think about Jake in the hood when somebody kill his homeboy, that vengeance is burning on him. Imagine the beef that the Yahawashi got with the heathens and 2/3 of his own people, man. Y'all want to throw me off a cliff, huh? All right.
All you gotta do is watch out Chopper.
Yeah.
Man, when one of them Issacharites family members die, it's like a religious thing to them. He says, I gotta, your brother's death must be avenged, man.
It's on forever, man. And that's how Jake operate in the hood against his own people. It's